Hi, this is Jessica Javens Talk. Welcome to Season 1. This is a podcast that will help you transform your life inside out to a life you truly love. Today's guest comes with a lot of experience that will enrich you and will give you some amazing hints and tips about how to shift paradigms for your own benefit and leveling up your life. I would like to welcome Terri Westmoreland. Thank you so much for coming in today, Terri. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that we made this happen. You have an amazing story to tell. And I would love to start by you sharing a little bit about you with our listeners today.
Sure. Well, I'm 27 years pastor's wife. 15 of those years I homeschooled my three boys. Um, I then went back to college and got my teaching degree when I started a private school that lasted for 10 years. It was a beautiful season. And finally, I ended up my career teaching in public schools and had some hardships pop up along the way, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing that you homeschooled your kids, and that
Yeah.
has to be a lot of hands-on and difficult. So that big dedication. Now, as far as paradigms, I would like you to maybe first just start by explaining what paradigms are and where they come from.
So I think of paradigms as your mindset, what you believe and what you say to yourself. And I can say that for 38 years, I had a paradigm that was negative and harsh toward myself and very um, felt very unworthy of anything in life, felt unworthy to have good things happen to me.
Thank you for sharing that. And you know what? Speaking to different individuals, especially women, I found that that's such a common, almost like a default, that if you don't realize that you're doing that, it's almost impossible to get out. And it's
Yeah.
so imprisoning. And I know that I had a share of mine too, so I can completely relate to that part. So tell us a little bit about how did you find out that you were carrying that? What happened?
Yeah. I was in my 30s when I first came across that term unworthy, and I knew that it applied to my heart. And I I worked really hard counseling, reading books, journaling, all the things. I worked so hard to overcome that feeling about myself. But to be honest, until my divorce last year, I was unable to shake it.
Wow. So when you say shake it, was it maybe the situation, which is a difficult situation, that kind of catapult you towards opening up a better understanding, getting out of a.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
absolutely. It was situational. I had a hard time in my marriage. I loved my husband very, very much and wanted nothing more than for him to love me back. And that was not something that he was capable of giving to me. And I internalized that, just like I did when I was a teenager and I felt like my dad didn't approve of me, and just like I did when I had an abusive boyfriend in high school. All of those things, I internalized it.
And
And
until
until
I
I
was
was
out
out
of
of
that
that
situation,
situation,
honestly,
honestly, I
I could
could
not
not
overcome
overcome
it.
it.
I
I
knew
knew
in
in
my
my
head
head
what
what
I
I
needed
needed
to
to
do.
do.
I
I
knew
knew
all
all
the
the
things.
things.
Therapy,
Therapy,
I
I
had
had
done
done
all
all
of
of
the
the
work.
work.
Wow.
But
But until
until
I
I
got
got
out
out
of
of
that
that
toxic
toxic relationship, series of toxic relationships, I could not shake it.
That's incredible. So, Terri, tell me a little bit more about um, what helped you to realize that it was situational, and
Yeah.
what tip do you or could you give to people who are in a situation like that? Because that's not like something small that you can just change easy in your life. It's a big life commitment kind of situation. So share your perspective on that.
Yeah, not everyone's going to divorce. Not everyone is going to um, not be in relationship with a parent or a loved one that causes you to feel that way. Um, Absolutely, you can overcome it. I fully, wholeheartedly believe that you can overcome that paradigm, that mindset, without getting out of a toxic situation. You can believe it, you could receive it, you can overcome it. I do believe that. For me, it was so deeply ingrained, and I believe I just couldn't see through the weeds.
Mm.
I just couldn't. Um, but I don't think that's everyone's case.
No. Yeah. And that navigation, and that's where maybe people sometimes allow themselves to get stuck, if you think
Yeah.
about it, because nothing is exactly the same. We're all individuals, separate human beings, separate souls, and everything is a little bit different. And I saw myself doing this all the time. Like if I saw a situation close to mine, I'm like, that doesn't help me because that's not exactly what I'm going through. And then it's
Mhm.
almost like an excuse for you kind of not to do something about it and just push through it. And then
Yes.
again, that pushing through it won't resolve by itself.
No, and I advocate for having a coach, someone in your corner that can help you, keep you accountable when you say things that are not fitting the values that you want to profess in your life.
Hmm.
Your coach can catch it, help you see it, help you catch it, and then redesign your words, redesign your mindset.
That's one of probably the good tips there, because it is that paradigm can be redesigned.
Hmm.
You sometimes don't know how, but you need to have a support person system that can help you to give you those tools that
Yes.
already exist. It's just a matter of getting to them, you know?
Yes.
And that was going to be actually my next question, and maybe you can think about some others. You, as a teacher and a life coach, what are a couple of things that you can share here, other than that tip, that can help people that feel in that situation and they don't know how to get out of it?
I have a list of self coaching things that I did in this past year of healing. Things like mindfulness, where you're in the present moment and you don't judge your emotions that come up. Gratitude, keeping a gratitude journal, journaling in and of itself. Going deep into what you believe and why you believe it and where it came from. Saying positive affirmations is another thing that I think can help us really retrain our brain. Um, and honestly, I'm going to get a tattoo that says, I am loved, worthy, and enough.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. And the self affirmations initially might be feeling like they're fake in a way.
Mm,
You know, initially it might not feel natural. Um,
yeah.
but I do believe that has happened to me, and I've heard numerous people expressing that as well, is that if you do consistently, eventually that will become a shift. And
Yes.
and adding to that is to have even go deeper by having an emotional connection to with those affirmations. So once you start picturing it and you allow yourself to feel that, you know, almost like with mindfulness is in that present moment, you really allow yourself to feel, give yourself a moment there to feel those words. That's how you will make sure that it starts going to your subconscious, and that's where the shift happens. What do you think about that?
I believe you're wholeheartedly on the right track there. I remember the first time I was introduced to positive affirmations, and one of my school moms had given me a package to go through cards every day. And I read through the cards and I separated them into two piles. One pile that I believed and one pile that I just couldn't stomach saying about myself.
Mm.
And that is not the case anymore. I still have those cards, and they're all squished into one beautiful pile that I
Oh,
can believe about myself.
wow. That's a great exercise actually to do something like that. That's awesome. That's amazing. So it's what I also see a little bit in you, Terri, is that the shifting of these paradigms created resilience in your life
Mm,
and joy and empowerment. Although you have gone through many things more than what you shared with us today,
yeah.
you've I think in a way it kind of helped you with the next things to come. Tell us a little bit more about that, the part of the resilience.
So I didn't mention I have three rare chronic diseases that I contend with on a daily basis. I am virtually bedbound. I do get out to the doctors. I do get out and do things in my community. But for the most part, I spend my days in bed and I run my life coaching business right now from bed. But 2 years ago, I found out through COVID pneumonia, having a CT scan, that I had a tumor in my lung
Oh.
and it was cancerous. And they took out half of my right lung.
Mm.
I have had concussions that were life altering. I fell on good old Indiana ice. It was snowing and I
Oh.
didn't see the puddle that was frozen underneath. And I fell and hit my head and it changed my life. I had a year and a half of um, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech, and
Wow.
balance therapy to regain who I was. So I've had so many things physically occur in my life that I didn't have much control over, but those things made me strong. Those things made me who I am today. Those things taught me to be resilient because what other choice do you have? You have to keep going. You have to keep striving for your big dreams, even though you might have to adapt how you do them, how you
Uh-huh.
approach it. Um, but resilience to me is everything. It is everything.
And it's beautiful because you have all the excuses not to. Maybe to blame, which is the easiest thing to do, or to feel defeated, or to give up, or procrastinate, whatever you do have control over. And on the other hand, I hope that this is really empowering our listeners today because it's been so many things and you had them so close to each other
Yeah,
that there's all the reasons. So, but if you could do it and you could come out of this stronger and a better person and still love life and enjoy it, and then empower yourself with what you can control. Look at you. You're using this in a way for this beautiful career of helping people to transform their lives. What a wonderful feeling that is. I know I love it, and this is my path, and I think that we connected also because of that. And I want to leave our listeners with that message, and I want you to tell us a little bit more about how or what they can do to make sure that they never give up on themselves and that they believe that the power that they have inside of them is far greater than the situation, the circumstances, and the condition that they're in.
absolutely. There's nothing that I love more than working with a client and seeing them develop and just all of a sudden the lights go on and they see that power within themselves. I love to see that. I love to help people um, progress in their own paradigm shift. I love to see people, it just excites me that they can create goals and have a better life and change the way that their mindset has been working for maybe 38 years of their life. It's possible to still become who you are meant to become.
Mm-hmm. That's magical. I love it. And if everybody could understand that, the world would be a completely different place. Um, because so many people today are stuck. And if you think about it, there's so much information available to them to help, but at the same time, there's so much of the other type of information which does not necessarily serve them and their purpose and their the better version of themselves. So sometimes people can get lost in the middle of choosing how to get the right support system so they can do that. So I encourage people to really do research. I am a researcher. I love to do research. I love to feel that I prove to myself, and I don't just go by maybe necessarily what's easy or short or what's comfortable or pleasurable at this moment, but I deserve more than that, and whoever is tagging along with me deserve that too. So I love that part of the research, and I think that in a way that's how we got connected is by having people with this same mind. And the more that you do that, the more opportunities and connections that you make that will just continue your self-growth with empowerment and enjoying the life that you live. So I really like that. What is your take on that?
Yeah, community is really important. Finding that one person that can speak into your life and that you can receive it from, because there's a really special relationship between a coach and the person that they're coaching. The coach has permission to speak into their life in truth and in love. And they receive it from the coach. And that's a unique position. Not everyone can receive that same word that the coach said, that same question that the coach asked. Not everyone can receive it from just anybody. There's feelings attached to different people in our relationships in our lives. So a coach relationship is really important to find.
Yeah, that really made a difference in my life, and on that journey, similar to you, Terry, I did therapy, all kinds of different psychologists and many different professionals in that field, which did help me, but differently than just trying to heal the past. What the coach can bring now is tools for the present and the future. So
Yes,
it's a completely different approach and a different purpose, which sometimes people can get confused about,
right.
but as some people do need the healing from the past, others are seeking just to know where they should go from here, and having that mindset and the right strategy, which takes me to ask you, how do you currently help your clients? Like, what's the availability of access do you make available for clients? What setting?
Yeah. So I have one-on-one virtual appointments available. They can go to my website and schedule online. I also launched a mastermind group where I go live once a week. They have access to me via messaging, and I pour into their group weekly, just various different things in the group. And they have access to each other. Like I said, community. Um, I love that mastermind idea that um, you can really connect with others who are going through the same journey as you. And finally, I do workshops. So I speak to small groups of people, and we can get into the different things that come up when they hear me speak and they have questions. I'm able to answer those questions right away with them.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and now with the technology and everything, it makes it accessible to probably anybody around the world
Yeah.
virtually. So that's awesome. You don't have to take time out of your calendar and drive somewhere. You can just have that access anywhere you are in the world. So that's great. So if our listeners want to contact you, Terri, where should they go? If they want to follow you, see what you're posting, your thoughts, get to know you more, how do they do that?
Yeah. So my website is setfreetobeyou.com and all of the socials. You've got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. I think I got them all. They're all set free to be you.
I absolutely love the name of your business. Love the name.
Thank you.
It's beautiful and it convey exactly what you've been doing with so many different lives. So thank you for that. If you are watching this show, please make sure that you click that like button and you share this message, very important message, with your friends and family and loved ones. And click the subscribe button right now so you can watch this and many other episodes coming. This show is brought by Forever Living, the best aloe vera juice in the world that transformed my wellness, and produced by the I Am Beast Network. My name is Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females might just start trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I came through tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is getting tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside because I want you to